All right, here's my story. My name is Joshua Bartley. I woke up today and I was 35 years old. I know that might not make any sense, but 35 years of my life has went by in a blink. Yesterday I was 16, and then 25, and 30, and then I'm 35 and just had no idea what had happened. I mean, how this life had went by so fast. But 35 wasn't a look back and saying, man, I'm so proud of what I've done. I'm so proud of where I've been. Although career-wise, I'm a proud father of a 6-year-old boy. That is my pride and joy. There's a lot of things in my life that are positive, but there was some detrimental things that wasn't even close to being positive. I was a firefighter paramedic for most of my career. And being a firefighter paramedic is a very rewarding, fun job to have. But the unfortunate thing about being a firefighter paramedic, they work 24-hour shifts. And the 24-hour shifts make it, especially if you work somewhere busy, that your body chemistry gets off. Meaning your sleep schedule goes off. You eat on the run, so most of the time you're eating fast food. And to give you a little context of my family gene pool, I come from obviously your mother and your father's side, and whatever genes they pass to you, like it or not, they're a part of you. That's just the way DNA operates. My Bartley side of my family are skinny people, and they have probably one of the highest metabolisms of anybody I've ever met. My mother's side of the family is just the opposite, and most of the people on that side struggle with weight. Well, having both of those DNAs come into my body, I deal with both. I was pretty much a skinny kid growing up. As a matter of fact, my nickname in high school was Stick because I was so skinny. As time went on and my metabolism slowly started to slow down a little bit, working those 24-hour shifts and eating fast food all the time, and my days off was spent lounging and doing nothing productive and doing a lot of sitting. Suffered from a bad back from having that job. I noticed it was easier and easier to gain weight. Now, keep in mind, I was never at any point in my life what they would consider a obese person. But being a person that averages 165 pounds, 6'1", and to go up to 220, almost 230 pounds is a dramatic difference. And that's what I was going through. I could easily pick up weight over time. And what I would do at that point is I was dedicated to it, but I would put myself on these diets that were just crazy. I would go on diets that I would limit my fat intake down to nothing. Eat carrots and pretzels and low-fat turkey and on no bread, and that's how I survived. And I would lose weight quick thanks to the Bartley side of me. I could drop weight extremely quick, 50 pounds in no time. But the problem was the end result wasn't this satisfying, healthy looking person. I look anorexic. I look horrible. My immune system was just tore up, and I was talking to doctors and they were saying, you're doing it completely wrong. So I had that thought in my head and going back and forth. So I left the EMS job and started my own business. I started a family arcade, and that job at first wasn't too bad, but then being a small business owner, and anybody that's ever got into those endeavors knows how much of a struggle it can be on your time. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week commitment, and I was located inside of a mall which was open 7 days a week. So we didn't have days off, and I couldn't afford to pay people to come in there. I had to do it. So the downside, unless I wanted to eat mall pizza, which tasted excellent, but I just couldn't eat it every day, my meals started getting upset and more and out of whack, and I was eating when I came home at 12, 1 o'clock, and I was eating these big meals to make up for to pretty much my body not getting fed all day and being weak and going straight to bed. So then my son, as he's we put him in every sport that he can possibly imagine. The more things that he was doing that required more of my time, instead, again, not really having the time to sit down and eat a meal, what I would do is substitute with an energy drink. And the energy drinks went from 1 to 2 to pretty much, I just went from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed with an energy drink in my hand. I'm also a pack and a half day smoker. I just really like to look at myself as being just pretty much a normal guy and a normal parent having a normal life. I know some people can balance it better than what I can, but I just had normal life struggles. Nothing that was that much different than anybody else. Well, this went on for some time, and obviously, as you can tell, as you can see where the story is going to, I was picking up weight. My back was getting worse because of one, probably my immune system was down, and I wasn't getting the proper nutrition in my body for all the moving the heavy equipment with arcade and things like that. And I woke up one day and I was 35, and that leads me to where I started. I looked in the mirror, and it was like an early midlife crisis. I was completely unhealthy. I was at the highest weight I've ever been in my life, which was 230 pounds. My ankles were swelling up, which anybody that knows anything about that, it usually means one or two things, well, three things, but usually your heart, your kidneys, or diabetes. And unfortunately, I come from a DNA pool of heart disease and diabetes. So I was thinking I was probably in the early stages of diabetes. Refused to go to the doctor because I didn't want to hear that news. And then my life took just the most unbelievable change on December 25th, Christmas morning. My father, which is a 61-year-old man, he too, suffers from a bad back. And the reason being, my father was a railroad conductor throughout his whole life, outside of the time that he served in Vietnam. Very hard-working man, and he was in a train accident in the early 2000s, which left him disabled, permanently disabled, mainly from a back injury. So he came to me and knew where I was at. I was pretty much any time I was walking around like a zombie. I was trying to coach my son's basketball team. I was trying to have a normal life, and my quality of life was down to zero. When you're 30, anybody that's 30 knows that your immune system, everything just seems to stop. And you don't have the same immune system that you did when you were 20, and you don't have the same metabolism that you did, and things can swell up easy. Well, my dad came to me Christmas morning and said, you know, son, I'm 61. I'll be 70 in 9 years, and I want to watch Braden, my son, his grandson, graduate high school at least. And the path that I'm going right now, I'm not going to. And I'm also worried about the path that you're going, and I want you to also see him graduate. And that means something. I mean, you think about it. At 35, you think you're just not even halfway. You know, you got this whole life, but he was right. The path that I was heading to 6 feet under pretty quick. So his gift to me was a $10 a month, he was going to pay for gym membership. And he told me he was going to do it with me. We would motivate each other, and we would get our life back. And it was hard. Actually, January went through, and I didn't really take advantage of it yet. Then come February, or late end of January, we went up one day, and then another day, and then next thing you know, it became a lifestyle. And here we are, March, not that long after that, and I've already have dramatically changed. And I thought to myself, my health has came back, and I have dropped the weight, and I feel 100%. But how many other people are out there in this similar circumstance that's just called life that I am? and have made goals and maybe started it, but the reality of it, starting it and sticking with it, is two different things. And doesn't really have the time to go work out, and doesn't really have the time to eat healthy or the things that it takes to get in shape, but doesn't want to die either. I'm sure there's so many people, I don't care what age you are, whether you're 18 or you're 80, I know there's other people out there that are dealing with the same situation that I'm faced with. To also add to my situation, I'm from the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, which I love my state. It's a beautiful state. But West Virginia holds records for things that I'm not proud of, and I'm sure no one in the state's proud of, such as we're the #1 in obesity in all of the United States, one of the lowest in education, poverty is extremely big here, second lowest in sunshine in the United States outside of Alaska. We hold things that it's just you're not really too proud that are struggles. And the reason why that I say that, if you live in an area like Los Angeles, which I've been to many times, beautiful area, or Florida, and you're surrounded around positive vibes, there's a juice spot on every corner, and each restaurant promotes healthy eating, and people look in shape, and they go around healthy. It's easier to motivate yourself to want to be healthy. But when you live in an area like I do, that unfortunately, that's not what I see every day when I go out. That's not who I interact with. Now, I'm not saying there's not people that are in shape from the state, because there's plenty of them. But the vast majority, there isn't. We don't have Hollywood juice spots, or we don't have a gym on every corner. That's just not things that are just known for around here. There's not healthy eating's not getting promoted. Most of our fast food places are McDonald's and Arby's and Taco Bell. That's what you grab on the run here. It makes it that much harder. And I know a lot of America is dealing with the same issue, or a lot of people in the world are dealing with the same issue that I'm dealing with. So how do you stay motivated to want to do that? Well, that's where this comes. I feel like this could be a dual win-win. I can document every day the struggles that I go through, but doing it, no matter how hard it is. I'm not a P90X or a Beachbody program that the person's already completely cut, and you look at it and you're thinking, yeah, right, bud, I'm sure, you're just trying to make money. I would love to be there, but I'm sure. With me, I'm you. I'm your neighbor. I'm the situation that you're going through, no matter where you're at. Yes, I talk different because I have an accent from where I'm from, but outside of that, I deal with the same struggles that each and every one of you all deal with. So if you can see how I'm doing it, and then you can see the motivation of me getting out and doing it, being my dad was for me, the motivation to keep on going every day, I'm nowhere at where I want to be yet. This blessing of working out and changing my lifestyle has also made it new goals and new objectives, so I don't get complacent, and I'm not, I don't just give up because it's easy to give up. I keep going. Spring's coming up, and I have a goal where I want to be at with spring. I think it's so much easier if you have someone that you can relate to go through this together, to stick with it. So if I can put this out there to anybody that wants to change their lifestyle and finally get in shape. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not an MD. I'm not a physical therapist. I can't make any medical advice such as that. But I can show you there's, I think, 3 big things to getting in shape. One is the motivation of wanting to go out and do it. Actually going out and doing it. Not just saying you're going to do it, but actually going out and doing it. Whether it's getting a gym membership, whether it's walking around your neighborhood, or if you have a spare spot in your house, turn it into a little makeshift gym on a budget, which I'm going to show you the same thing. I got a gym membership and a small little makeshift gym at the house. And Two, if anybody tells you any different, they're lying. You do have to change the way you eat. There's no way around that. You can't eat processed McDonald's burgers every day and work out and expect your body to reward yourself, because it's just not going to happen. But also know that eating healthy is probably one of the most expensive things you can do, which is extremely ironic. You know, we live in a country that promotes good health, but it's unaffordable for most people. So see how I do it. There's things that I have got invested, such as the vitamin regimen that I'm on is extremely expensive, but you don't have to do the same thing. It's just my personal goal of what I want to do. And I looked at it like the energy drink habit that I had, how much I spent daily for that. I just substitute with positive vitamins from GNC and other spots, and I'm still coming ahead financially. So I'm also a pack and a half day smoker. I work on that one as well, so when I can quit that, then maybe I can use that one for once I'm in shape to afford to go on vacations. So there's always a way you got to look at your particular circumstance and make it a positive. But the third most important thing I think about working out is being able to stick with it. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions, no matter what the habit or what the goal is, but to be able to stick with it and get it done sometimes can be impossible. So if you see that even days that it's the hardest, if you see that when I put a video out that the struggles that I had, but I'm still doing it, maybe that'll be the motivation that you need, and we can do it together. I'll put up social media places where we can interact and share our progress and boost each other on. I think for free. I mean, and this is not a program you gotta go out and buy. This is a YouTube video that we put out every day and do it together. So that's my idea. I've been able to lose weight before in the past the wrong way, and the end result was I looked horrible. I was unhealthy. People were not complimenting how good I looked. They were looking at me saying, "Are you sick? Or is everything okay? Because you look like shit." And that's what I was getting. And I was catching every bug that went around, and it was horrible. So really, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and crash diets just don't work. They might work temporary, but just long term they don't. So if you want to do it like I'm doing it, the right way, getting yourself in shape, one way or the other, remember, a body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest will stay at rest. And that's the truest thing I can possibly throw out there. So let's stay in motion. Let's do this together. And I hope you all can enjoy, and I hope we can start this goal together. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this new series. Thank you so much. Let's do this. Body in motion.